Phoenix, can you please buy me Vandal? You've been doing good, by the way.
I got a compliment. He likes my mouse. Now, obviously, I was being facetious when I said this mouse would make me a pro esports player. It doesn't make you a better gamer. Like, I still have a slow reaction time. That hasn't changed. But the mouse's reaction time and click latency has improved. It's faster than a standard mouse. Oh, and I'm gonna get shot right here. Wow, okay, that was definitely the mouse. Don't worry, guys, it's just because I'm cheating. This is the Pro X2 Superstrike from Logitech. It's a brand new gaming mouse, and it confuses me. I don't really understand it because every other mouse that I've used has mechanical switches, but this doesn't have those. This doesn't have any switches. Instead, it's using their HITS technology, which stands for Haptic Inductive Trigger System. And from what I understand, instead of a mechanical switch, it uses an inductive sensor that knows how far you're pushing down. So for the first time, you can choose your actuation point anywhere along the travel path at 10 different levels in the software, which we'll take a look at later. That's supposed to increase the reaction time and really reduce the latency up to 30 milliseconds, which is a lot. And as someone who's almost 40 years old, I could really use the help with my reaction time. So I'm really happy to be going pro, to be a pro esports gamer. I'm very excited about that. I've already unboxed this earlier. I unboxed it earlier, so what you just saw there is just kind of a formality for the video. And I already broke the mouse. This is what, $180 to $200 mouse. I already broke it within about 10 seconds of unboxing it earlier off camera. I was trying to look underneath to see one of those little springs underneath this right button, and I nicked it. I don't know if it's permanently damaged, but I can't seem to get it back down. So I might have just broke a $200 gaming mouse. That's okay though. I'm hoping the other button still works. And you know, who uses the right button anyway? Who uses the right click? That's for scopes. Scopes are for noobs. I'm a pro gamer now, so I don't even need that. It's around 60 grams, if I remember correctly, so not the lightest, but not the heaviest. It's plenty light for me. It's got a nice two-tone design, black and white. Love the mouse wheel. The mouse wheel and the click feels really good. It doesn't require too much pressure to press that. The main clicks, the one that's working, let's just talk about the one that's working, even though they're identical. It feels weird because there's no mechanical switch, so it just bottoms out and you don't really feel any kind of tactile feedback, which is why there's a haptic motor inside of it. The haptic motor provides that tactile feedback in real time every time you actuate either of the buttons. And that's adjustable as well. I think 6 different levels you can choose between. You can even turn it off. You'll just feel nothing, which I don't like. I don't think you should do that. That feels weird. That's nasty. It is a wireless mouse. It has a USB dongle. It's in the box still, but there's also room for it on the mouse itself. You can stash it right there when not in use. On-off switch, your sensor, some Teflon pads. It looks good. It feels good in the hand. I honestly like it. If you're a fan of the Pro Superlight or the Superlight 2, you're gonna like this. It's very symmetrical. Obviously, what I'm most excited about here though is the technology under the hood. Whether this can take a noob like me into the upper echelon of a professional esports player, because I don't want to brag, but I already have the physique of one. So let's see if this takes me the rest of the way there. Okay, before we jump into a game, I want to quickly show you the software because this is where you can really configure all the settings that I was just talking about in the G-Hub software from Logitech. You can see that our Pro X2 Superstrike is showing up. I'm gonna click on that to get into our settings for this particular mouse. And here we've got 3 different settings we're gonna go over: the actuation point, rapid trigger, and click haptics. Starting with actuation point, this is going to let you choose between 10 different levels of where you want your mouse clicks to actuate. Starting from 1, basically meaning with just the slightest bit of pressure, and you can actually see the visual indicator. It's showing me at what point the button will actuate. So if we put it all the way down to the long click, setting number 10, I basically have to bottom out the button, which doesn't feel all that great. This is actually a longer travel distance than most gaming mice. That doesn't really feel that great. But then if you go to 1, the shortest click possible, I mean, that's a problem because it requires such little pressure to actuate that I could see myself misclicking a lot. Because generally when I'm gaming, my fingers aren't perfectly relaxed on the mouse. There's a little bit of tension on them already, kind of anticipating shooting an enemy or something like that. So I feel like that's a little too sensitive for me. I'm not really trained for that. So I'm gonna do, let's say 3. Yeah, I feel like I can still put a tiny bit of pressure on the button without misfiring. So I'm gonna leave that at 3. So that's kind of how that works. And notice that you can assign these settings independently between left and right clicks. Left, right, and then of course you can apply it to both. Rapid trigger is another function that aids with the response time. This is basically determining how far the button has to come back up before it resets. So if you had it all the way on the slowest mode, you'd probably have to return that button all the way back to the top before you could go back down, versus fast, meaning you probably only have to let up off of the button slightly before you can go back down and keep firing. So I'm cool with that being on the fastest setting there. Click haptics, referring to the haptic motor inside the mouse that I mentioned. So this basically just determines the intensity of that haptic feedback. You might want it really strong and intense, and you really want to feel it a lot. That's pretty heavy for me. And even fortunately, it's very quiet regardless of which setting you choose. Very quiet, but I can feel it. I can definitely feel it kind of pushing back on my finger a bit. Versus number 1, which is the lightest setting, gives me just enough tactility and just enough feedback to let me know that I'm actuating, but it's not too distracting. And then of course, like I mentioned earlier, you can turn it off completely where it'll be dead silent, but it'll also feel kind of dead. The mouse is not responding to my movement. I don't really know exactly what I'm actuating. I can't feel it. But I'm gonna leave it at 1 for now. And those are my settings. So let's go ahead and with these settings, jump into a game. We're gonna play some Valorant and see how it does. All right, time to put this mouse to the test. See if I'm a pro gamer now. Oh, look at that. Hey. Ah, shit. Logitech failed. This technology sucks. All right, let's try it with a rifle this time. Woohoo! 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 I can feel the difference for sure. Hot damn. I'm experiencing like 2 benefits primarily, which is exactly what this mouse is designed for. 1, I'm able to fire more shots per second, so I'm just like popping off a lot more. But I'm also doing it with a tighter grouping. Like my aim is actually noticeably better, it feels like. I think it's mainly because the travel distance is reduced significantly in both directions, on the way down and the way up. So my finger's just not moving around as much. I feel like I'm not moving all that much, and that's helping me steady my aim a lot. Or either that, or these players are just lousy, because I usually don't do this well. Like what the? So I think the takeaway is that even with this mouse, I'm still a crappy gamer. But at the very least, shit. I feel like I'm able to fire my shots a fraction of a second sooner, and I'm able to take more shots per second. And that is giving me a noticeable, measurable edge. You know, in a game like this, how many times do you get killed by someone, you see how much HP they had left, and go, if only I had 1 more bullet on them, I would have killed him first. I think there's a much higher likelihood of you actually clutching that kill with this mouse, simply because the latency is reduced so much. Now, obviously, this is the first time I'm using this mouse. I think with enough practice, I might really like this mouse a lot, and it may even be difficult to go back to something with mechanical switches. That being said, this is not cheap. It's like a $180 to $200 mouse at the time of filming, and it's well outside of a lot of people's price point or budget. So I can see that, you know, unless you're really taking your gaming seriously, or you have that Skrilla, I think it's a hard sell for a casual gamer like myself. On the flip side, if you play a lot of competitive matches, or you're just trying to KD max the hell out of your gameplay, then maybe spending that much on a mouse is worth it for you. I think it just kind of boils down to the individual gamer. But it's a really cool technology. I haven't really seen a mouse do anything this innovative in a very long time. I think Logitech, for what it's worth, did a really good job for this being their first iteration. Looking forward to seeing what they do in the future with it, and if other competitors adopt it. I feel like there's gonna be some copycats with this, because it is very, very cool. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more tech content on the way very soon. I will see y'all in the next video.